What's up? What's up? Uh-oh. Oops, sorry about that. LT, what's good? Little technical difficulties there in the morning, LT. Nah, but so what's up? Man, is it crazy in boxing or what? Is boxing falling apart on us in 2021, guys? All right. Geez, so many fights that we were excited for at the beginning of the year, and coming into June. I apologize, coming into July, half of the year down, everything seemed to be looking pretty good. And then it was almost a domino effect, Wilder wins the arbitration. And Fury Joshua doesn't happen. And it appeared that after that point, boxing started getting into a little turmoil, right? So is boxing falling apart on us, guys? Right in front of our eyes in 2021, is it happening? Personally, I don't think so. That's what we're going to talk about this morning, because there are some fans getting a little disheartened and disappointed by these fights that we're not getting. Plenty of fights that we expected to see, no doubt. Plenty of fights that we were excited about. However, we're not getting them. And I do believe that that's putting a bad taste in a lot of fans' mouth and, giving off the appearance that boxing is falling apart. However, guys, I don't believe that's so. So, get that chair out of the way. So we're going to talk about that this morning. Definitely going to talk about that this morning. And a couple of other things. Of course, y'all know it's not just one topic on this morning show. This is the best. You hear me, LT? I'm not late, LT. I started it up. I had it started up at 7:45 this morning. Remember, it's between 7:45 and 8. That's when we're going to start. So it was posted up at 7:45 this morning. I was actually on time all week this week, LT. Thank you very much, mi hermano. This is the best morning boxing show in the YTBC. Appreciate you. Apex Predator in the building. That's why Canelo asking for that guaranteed money. Hey, you know what I mean? Apex, all of this foolery happening there. I want to make sure I get paid. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you, bro. So before we get into the main topic, is boxing falling apart? I did want to talk about something. And listen, guys, I must admit here, Apex Predator, LT, you have been up here before, fam. So I want to try to give everyone a shot to come up here and kick it with your boy D Jeff for the morning show. But Apex Predator, this one goes out to you, fam. The link is coming in the chat. If you have time, you could be the special guest this morning, fam. Come up here with your boy D Jeff, kicking about these boxing topics. That link goes out to you, Apex Predator. All right. So we got J Dave in the building. Good morning to you, J Dave. He said it's the best boxers in the world are chronically inactive and don't find other elite fighters. The sport is dead. Okay, I like that comment, J Dave. I like that comment because it is significant that the marquee fighters, we can say, ain't nothing happening in boxing, blah, blah. We're having actually some very good fights. But as J Dave pointed out here, and I think this is a very valid comment, it is the marquee fighters, guys. These are the fights that we want to see, the fights that will draw fans in. It's these marquee fights that seemingly falling apart. And it gives a lot of validity to J Dave's comment there. Well said, J Dave. Thank you for coming through, brother. LT. Smoking Joe. in the building. What's good, Sup D? Boxing us, doing us okay. Yeah, gate numbers, site feet. Yep, it's definitely two perspectives on this Smoking Joe. And I believe, as I started off the show, if you guys look at the title, it's in the form of a question. And I don't think so. I'm kind of with you, Smoking Joe. Now, I will say this is a very valid, there's a lot of validity to this comment that Jay Dave is saying here, where if the best boxers in the world are chronically inactive, okay? And that, Jay Dave, is why we have this appearance. It's giving off the appearance that boxing is falling apart. But I'm with Smoking Joe. I don't necessarily think it is. I really don't think it is. And I'll tell you something else, guys. You guys, mostly everyone here, Luis Puente, mi hermano, what's good with you? So you guys mostly here are, as myself, we are true boxing fans, right? Speaking my sports talk family, true boxing fans. And this may not be something that's aesthetically pleasing to you guys. However, it is situations like this that boxing is not dead yet, okay? Because whether we like this or not, these type of guys, these gimmick fights, these type of guys are bringing interest and attention back to the sport of boxing. All right. Also, we can't just ignore and nullify the fights that we have had. Chocolatito, Juan Francisco Estrada, Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, you know, Jamel Charlo and Castaño. Although we didn't get a winner there, some people thought Castaño got robbed. Some people thought Charlo got robbed. And we didn't get a winner there. However, that was a 4-belt undisputed match. So there is a lot of good things happening, but could be sometimes overshadowed by the marquee fighters not getting in that ring, such as what Jay Dave was talking about. But anyhow, Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. Now, this is something I talked about before. I didn't even really want to touch on these gimmick fights, and I didn't do them. I didn't do the Mike Tyson, the Roy Jones Jr. fight, and I usually do commentary. But guys, this is boxing now. I'm not saying this incumbents the sport of boxing, but they are heavily involved. They are driving a lot of numbers, eyes, and attention into the sport. So we got to talk about it. And I have to be perfectly honest. Jake Paul has sucked me in, at least on this idea here, because I've been saying this consistently. I'm tired of seeing Jake Paul fight NBA players, YouTubers, and former UFC fighters. Get in there with a real boxer, someone who is an actual boxer. It doesn't have to be the best boxer. It doesn't have to be a great boxer, but at least he's a legitimate boxer. Tommy Fury is a legitimate boxer. I've actually said, Jake Paul, you go fight Tommy Fury and let's see what happens. So if I call for a fight like that, and there's potential that we might actually get that fight, who am I to not support it? I actually said this is a fight that I would like to see Jake Paul in. If he wants to prove something to me that he's trying to do something in boxing, go box a boxer. And this is what he's about to do, okay? Now, both of these guys have their fights coming up on August 29th. Jake Paul's fighting Tyron Woodley. I don't have a clue who Tommy Fury's fighting. Probably another low-level fighter. I won't even lie to you guys. I can't remember the name of the guy that Fury's fighting, but it's, again, most likely a low-level fighter. All right, let me see. Jay, Apex Predator. No time, buddy. No time. Let me extend this offer up to. All right, Smoking Joe, Luis Puente. You guys have not been up here. Do either you guys have time or would like to come up here on the panel? Let me know in the chat. BK in the building. What's good with you? What's good with you? Smoking Joe says America needs a really good heavyweight hey, Jared, Big Baby Anderson. Keep an eye on him, Smoking Joe. That's my guy. I think he's going to be our guy. But you're right. The heavyweight division kind of leads the way. What heavyweight is going to be? Anderson? I didn't even see that question. I gave you my answer. Big Baby. Top of the line, bro. I like this kid. BK in the building. What's up, brother? J Dave, people are tuning in to watch Jake Paul, Little Paul, and hanging around to watch Charlo versus Castano. Not necessarily true, J Dave. Not necessarily true. The strangest fights, sometimes fights not even of marquee fighters, can draw a person to the sport. When I was doing that charity live for Little Mateo, he's doing fine too, everyone, just in case you're wondering. But when I was doing that charity live for the little guy, we talked about this one night. We had a lot of people on the panel as usual and people in the chat. And I posed the question, what fight did you watch that brought you into boxing? And sometimes it was just good matches, J Dave, not marquee fighters. But it drew the people into the sport of boxing because it was simply a good match. There was some level of excitement or something there that told them, I want to watch again. Never can tell. It could be a match between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury. Wouldn't impress us, J Dave, because we have a higher level of expectation than casuals coming in. We know about foot movement, feints, using the jab, getting up under hooks, head movement, staying off center line. And we're looking for those things. But the average casual coming in is just looking for a fight. They're looking for entertainment and some form of excitement. And it could be a fight like this that would draw them in. And it wouldn't be the last. They would go on a hunt now to see, let me look at some of these other fights and see what's going on. Then they would arrive at guys like Chocolatito, Usyk, Lomachenko, Charlo, Castano, and so forth and so on, and understand the skills and sweet science, and then they're locked in. So you never know, J Dave, what could bring the attention. I'm totally against all of these gimmick fights and stuff. I say, and I still to this day say that it's a fad in boxing. It's not something that I believe that's going to continue on. It's not something that's going to lift and bring the sport of boxing back to glory. And I do not think that it's something that's going to take over boxing, as I've heard people say. But it is something to bring attention to boxing because social media is the way today. And these social media characters, they have a lot of eyes on them. We need the young eyes to get into this sport, J Dave. If the young eyes don't get into the sport, then it truly dies. You get it? Because the young will become the older and we'll be dead and gone. So, that's just my idea on that. Smoking Joe, and the subject of Tommy Fury, who is Anthony Taylor. There it is, Anthony Taylor. Don't know Smoking Joe. Another low-level fighter, like I said before, that we don't really know about. I've been following Anderson from the scratch. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bro, I like it. I like it. I like what I see. John Daly in the building. My UK Connect. What's up, John? Good to see you, brother. He said, that's a theory, but the crossover is happening. Doesn't look like it. Woodley and Jake Paul? Yeah, that's going to happen. I've not heard about it being canceled yet, but so far it hasn't been officially canceled, so we should have to say that it's still going down. I'm at work. D can't get on. Oh, okay. All good, brother. All good. Remy in the building. What's good? All right, LT. You've been up here before, LT. I'm trying to give someone else a chance. John Daly's been up. So, LT, my brother, mi hermano, I'm sending it out to you. Special guest, if you got time. And at this point, you know what I would start doing, guys? I would just invite someone, and if they can't get on, the first person that hits that link, you'll be the special guest. I'll start doing it like that. And if no one comes on, y'all always know how I say. I can hold it down alone. No problem with it. Remy, mi hermano, what's good with you? So, now with this Jake Paul, Tommy Fury situation, I gotta speak on some of the things Jake Paul was saying here, right? It is fool Jake Paul, man. I'm going to tell you something. This kid has something. His persona, his aura. No doubt, LT. But this kid has something. His persona, his aura, his mouthpiece, that a lot of boxers, it would suit a lot of boxers well. Terrence Crawford, if he had that mouthpiece, that aura in him that Jake Paul has, he would be a much bigger star. You know, he would be a much bigger star. The thing is, you have to say things that sound, what the fuck is that? All right, sorry, guys. You have to say things that sound absolutely ridiculous. Sometimes you have to say these things like, yeah, get out of here. Like Tank Davis, I knocked Josh Taylor out. Please. We know that that's garbage. Josh Taylor will beat the living hell out of Tank Davis, in my opinion. He would. But Tank said, I knocked Josh Taylor out, right? Okay. Jake Paul has this. Jake Paul has this because he says things that are outlandish, but it gets the juices flowing. It gets the fans to talking, right? And it would serve a lot of other boxers well, not just Crawford, but, a lot of soft-spoken boxers. It would serve them well to adapt this type of trash talk, things that seem outlandish. You know what I mean? And so, give you an example. Jake Paul was saying about Tommy Fury, this guy, he can't do anything. He can't beat anyone else. Who has he fought? Right? So it's things like that. Wait a minute, Jake Paul. He's fought actual boxers. Yes, I will agree. They were all low-level boxers. But he's actually fought boxers. Now pose the question to Jake Paul. Who the hell have you fought? You ain't even fought one boxer, dude. You fought a YouTuber, a basketball player, UFC fight. You're not even fought a boxer. So you cannot sit here and say, who has Tommy Fury fought? But it's that type of talk. It's that type of mouthpiece, that aura that gives Jake Paul this je sais quoi, so to speak, It's good. It's good. It's needed by some of our marquee fighters that, sometimes can't find a way to get stock in them, bro. A mouthpiece will get stock in you. Guys that lose a lot, but people still buy their fights. It's because of their mouthpiece. Adrian Broner is an example. You see what I mean? He wasn't winning everything, but the things he would say out of his mouth, would take people back. That boy know I won that fight. No, you didn't, Adrian Broner. Manny Pacquiao beat your ass in that fight. However, saying things like that, you know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that gets the juices flowing, like I said. So, this fight with Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, man, again, I think it's going to bring some attention to the sport. These YouTubers and these gimmick fights are bringing casuals in, and I think that a certain percentage of those casuals will stick around. J. Dave, I do believe that, yeah, some of them will just go on about their business and, never watch another match, and they just came in for the Jake Paul foolishness or whatever. But I do think that it will capture a lot of eyes and attention, and then they'll move on to other bigger and better fighters, so to speak. So yeah, but that's all I wanted to mention about Jake. Well, no, not really. Actually, I wanted to say something else, that Jake Paul has never really responded and come out to Tommy Fury. Pretty much ignored him. And I was saying, Tommy's at his neck. Why won't Jake Paul come at Tommy Fury? Now Jake Paul has actually said, we're going to work on this deal, fighting each other after our fights on the 29th, because they both fight on the 29th of August. So Jake Paul is saying that he's going to be working on a fight with Tommy Fury. You know what else is funny too? Jake Paul, his sparring partner, I think this guy Anthony Taylor was a sparring partner for Jake Paul, and he says that Tommy Fury, he's not about that boxing life. He's not really a boxer. His family, his dad, his uncle, his brother, they're forcing him into this life. He doesn't really have that boxing spirit in him, which is something else to me that's outlandish. And I find, I find kind of funny coming from Jake Paul. Dude, you a YouTuber. You know you doing this for the money, fam. And then he throws this shot at Tommy Fury. It's like, oh, he not really it. Oh, come on, man. So anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. Jake Paul, he is a card, bro, and he's got a name in this sport right now. How ESPN and all of these freak shows are talking about him and things he does. So he's already embedded into the sport. Mando Solo, what's good with your brother? What's good? Physical therapy in 2 hours. All right, Remy. Get better, brother. Get better. Every day is a step in the right direction. Hard recoil, what's up? Yeah, we talking about that, bro. We are talking about that for sure. Hard recoil. Have much more skills than Jake Paul. Yeah, for sure. I think Tommy Fury beats the hell out of Jake Paul. I don't really believe Jake Paul. I'm hoping that it does happen because I want to see him fight a real boxer, but I believe Tommy beats him. I don't think so. I don't think Jake Paul will beat Tommy Fury, but we shall see, bro. We shall see if they fight. Mando Solo says, gimmick fights are good for the sport in the big picture. Yeah, right. For the big picture, it's going to bring eyes and attention and awareness to the sport. What percentage of new fans we get from that? Who knows? But I do think that it is going to draw more fans, more attention to the sport. Yeah, Mando. Tommy would smoke Jake. That's why I don't really want. But he's responded now, and that's why I even brought it up. Mando Solo, because he never responded before, and I felt the same way. Tommy Fury, no, he's not the greatest fighter, but he'll beat the hell out of Jake Paul, and Jake Paul had never said anything before, but now, Mando, Jake Paul is the one to come out and said he's going to break his face, and they're going to negotiate this fight after their fight on the 29th. He said, hopefully Jake Paul, Jake Paul says, hopefully Tommy Fury can get past Taylor. Taylor's a pretty rough kid. and Tommy Fury hasn't fought anyone. That's what Jake said, which I found hilarious because you haven't fought anyone. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, I get it, Mando. I get it. Jeff, what's good? At work, stopping, dropping, quick light. Boxing sure is falling apart with all these called off fights. Damn, bullshit. Have a good morning, everyone. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you. Carlos Mendoza, what's good with your fam? What's good? Reptile Lifestyle. I love this fight. Yeah, if it happens, bro. If it happens, Reptile, I do too. I'm actually intrigued. I always say this, Reptile. A fight that I'm intrigued, that there's suspense. Those are the type of fights that I want to have some type of interest, some intrigue. If I see a fight, I hear a fight coming, and I know it's going to be a one-sided shellacking, I don't want to watch a fight like that. I have very little interest in that. But these two guys is an enigma. There's interest. There's a mystique there. You understand? And that's the type of fights that interest me. And I've been one to speak out against their game. Come on, dead game. Unless you at work too. Everybody at work, old D Jeff. I'm gonna send this to you, dead game. No, the other guys that I invited couldn't come up. So that link actually goes out to anybody, but I'm only letting one on the panel. So anybody want to click that link and come up and talk, come on up. The guys I invited were at work. So yeah, Reptile, I like this fight, man. I'm not gonna say I love it, but I do like this fight because I'm interested. There's intrigue for me there. Would definitely like to see that. But good morning to your dead game, my brother. What's up? J Dave says Tommy Fury has looked exceptionally limited so far. He has 6 meaningless fights and only 12 low-level amateur fights. Not much difference between Fury and Paul. Yeah. Which again brings even more intrigue. Like Fury's fought nothing but low-level boxers, and Jake Paul has fought all these exhibition silly matches, right? So, Yeah, it's not as if either of them have fought a B level boxer yet, right? Neither of them. So yeah, not too far of a distance, but just the fact that, in my opinion, Jay Davis, just the fact that at least all of the fights that Tommy Fury has, which is more than Jake Paul, are all officially boxers. They're low-level boxers, but they're actual boxers, right? You know, most low-level boxers will beat the shit out of the average guy. No, you feel me? So that, in part, my French guy, but that's the idea of it. All right, guys, moving on. I spent enough time on this Jake Paul foolishness. And let's get on to the topic of, is boxing falling apart now? You guys remember when Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fought? I think it was almost like a domino effect, man. Right? When Wilder won the arbitration and now we're getting Tyson Fury and Wilder, it was almost as if a domino effect started to happen. Like, fights started to break apart and we weren't getting this. But if you guys remember, coming out of June into July, we were sitting pretty. Chocolatito and Taylor Ramirez and all of these fights that we'd already gotten. And boxing was on the up and up. PBC had been throwing on fire cards, and it was like, man, boxing is looking good for 2021. And then Joshua Fury falls apart, and it's like it caused a domino effect. And then fights start falling. Caleb Plant and Canelo don't happen. Now we're talking Canelo Bivol. And then the new situation here with Errol Spence Jr. and the retina injury. And it's like, what the hell is going on? And now it's Spence out, Ugas in. Now, I say it's fishy business with that, guys. Fishy business with that. The retina tear, I don't deny that. I mean, hell, they didn't even know where it came from. Spence has gone to 3 different specialists because he wanted to be sure. He's actually been checked out by 3 different specialists. And they've all said the same thing. It's a retina tear and he's going to need surgery. So right before we get it, I mean, guys, we were literally less than 2 weeks away. And I know I was excited about this fight. I think a few people were. Fights off, right? And as Jay Dave mentioned earlier, the best fighters, right? When those type of fights fall apart, yes, it will give this appearance that boxing is falling off. But I say no. I say no, it's not. Yes, we're having some struggles, but you got to pay attention to the whole grand scheme of things. The first half of the year was spectacular. Had a great first half of the year. Look at what's going on this weekend. Yes, we're not getting this fight, but this weekend's cards are fire. Right? So when I talked about this guy, Jake Paul, is the type of guy that will keep boxing from, this is bringing attention to the sport. So as much as we have these fights, the Joshua Fury not happening, Canelo Plant and all of the debacle there, and now Errol Spence tears his retina, and these marquee fights, you know, Sean Porter and Crawford didn't materialize. Those things, you know, for us, the true boxing fan, yeah, it's disappointing. But the same way the casual fan doesn't know if Jake Paul and Tommy Fury is a good fight, they don't really know that Errol Spence and Pacquiao and these were the marquee fighters. See, it's all about a mindset. They don't have any clue of that. They're clueless, so they're still going to come. All right. So I don't know, man. Mando Solo said, no, I think Tommy has a big difference compared to Jake because Tommy has boxed amateur pro. Yeah. I feel you. I give him the edge too. And like I said too, Mando, he's boxed actual boxers, right? So that definitely matters. G-Man boxing in the building. What's good with you, G-Man? Like I always say, if you guys have not been over there to subscribe and check out G-Man, what the hell are you waiting for? You know? Salute to you, bro. He said, what do you think of the eye? I think it's lying to No, well, I think it's official. Look, man, Spencer's my guy, so all of this ducking fights and not wanting to fight, and this is what they all wanted, Pacquiao. You think that Spence would fake anything to not fight Pacquiao, or, you know? Let me read your comment again, because I always tab your comments, G-Man. Oh, hold on. Salute. What you think of the eye? I think it's a line of this line to crash. Well, what do you mean exactly by that? Are you talking about the eye or the idea of the fight or Errol Spence's career? Because that's kind of open there, G-Man. But I just wanted to make sure. Fury Joshua collapse has taken the air out of boxing. These big fights define the sport. Well, they allowed the sport to continue to thrive, J. Dave. But again, all of the big fights are not, okay? You got this negative. We still look at Saturday. It's coming now, bro. We got Franco Maloney and all of these fights that are coming now. And these are good fights that casuals can watch, that will be good matches that can bring the attention to, bro. There's ebbs and flows. This sport has been over 4 times, 5 times your lifetime, dude. Boxing's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. So, yeah, it's going to have turmoil. It's going to have trouble. And right now, we're in a lot of that trouble. But, J. Dave, this sport's going nowhere, fam. Nowhere. I don't believe Spence is injured. No, that's bullshit. I'm not even entertaining that right now, Mendel Solo. Canelo wanted to guarantee an opponent if Plant caught COVID or was injured. Seems reasonable about now. Yeah, but the amount is not reasonable. Rebel Life, I do agree. I mean, Reptile, I do agree that, you know, we can see why a guarantee would, but you don't ask for 40 million. So I'm a Canelo fan, but I'm not riding with that. 40 million was too much, you know? Put a 40 million for Plant, guarantee 20 if anything happens. That's reasonable, maybe. But to guarantee 40 million if you got to go fight Tom DeHulu, nah, bro. No, that's ridiculous. Even for Canelo, he's never made $40 million in one fight. He's only made 35. I think 35 is his highest purse, bro. He's never even made 40 million in one fight. To guarantee that just in case something happened and you got to go fight any Tom, Dick, and Harry, that's not reasonable. It's not reasonable. Not even for Canelo. Now Pacquiao has a replacement fighter, but Canelo gets heat. Well, Remy, you know how that goes. They always gonna give our dude Canelo heat. He said, I typed that all wrong. Okay. I mean, I think his eye is linked to the car. Oh, could be. Hey, good. You know, I never thought about that, G-Man. Yeah, I think so. I can see why Spence would travel to the UK to fight Brook, but would just pull out against him. Right, yeah. Right. That guy is going to fight. Yeah, why would he do that? No way. No way. I can't see why he would travel to the UK to fight Brook, but will pull out against a 42-year-old Pat. And this is a fight that everyone wanted. This is Spence's biggest money fight. The passing of the torch was supposed to be Pacquiao to Keith Thurman. Now it could have been Pacquiao to Spence. You think Spence want to give that up? No way, bro. No way. Exactly, G-Man. Exactly. But so I do have some news, guys, that, you know, even though before I move on to that, because it's still all about boxing if it's falling apart, but Spence Pacquiao, what I don't believe here is Ugas Pacquiao. It's kind of hard for me to believe that. Now, I know that Ugas has the heart of a lion. This guy's ready to fight anyone, right? I know that fighting Manny Pacquiao is a massive opportunity. But I've not heard anything of them pushing the fight date back. So would this be Ugas fighting Manny Pacquiao in a week? Well, that's a load of crap. And Ugas would be doing it solely for the money. He would have to be doing it solely for the money. But, I mean, in less than 2 weeks, if Ugas did sign on for that fight, if he is going to replace Spence on the 21st, wow, bro. I'm not sure that's wise by Ugas in this team, but you got to realize it's probably a big fat check that's involved in that. And Ugas is a fighter. Manny is 42 years old. Ugas already felt like he could beat Errol Spence. And Ugas will step up and get in there. So, but I'm not fully sold on it, bro, because you replace, you're a champion now, Yordenis Ugas. You're going to take that type of risk to fight a guy like Manny Pacquiao on a week's notice? That's kind of hard to believe, man. That really is kind of hard to believe. I'm looking forward for Ortiz meme and shit. Yeah, there you go. This is what I'm talking about. People talking about falling apart. That's this weekend as well. Rigondeaux and Casemiro this weekend. Like, come on, bro. We ain't going nowhere. Boxing is here to stay. 40 was too much. Yeah, for sure. Too much. 40 was too much, man. Bruce Goes. What's good with you, brother? What's good with you? Good to see you, Bruce. But 30 for Bivol is good. Yeah, but can they draw that kind of money? Bivol, well, it is Canelo, but Bivol, it is not a big ticket item. But yeah, 30 is good. I mean, he should be able to get paid 25, 30 on that. Shit, he got 17 for Envy. Ugas was already in training to fight on the same card. Yeah, bro, but not training to fight Manny Pacquiao. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you something else, J-Dave. If you watch that Yordenis Ugas fight with Abel Ramos, hey, man, in the 12th round, Abel Ramos hit goddamn Ugas and had him stinky leg, bro. If he had a little more time, he may have even been able to get Ugas out of there, J-Dave. And this was Abel Ramos. This is not a Manny Pacquiao. So it's very dangerous. He was training to fight on that card, but not Manny Pacquiao. You know, fights, your styles make fights, fam. You get into training camp and you train to fight a certain guy. So it's still a week's notice. I'm not saying, we've not seen Yordenis Ugas blow up and wait and be out of shape in between fights. Look at him. He's a ripped up guy. So he definitely takes care of himself. He appears to stay in the gym and stay focused on the sport. I'm not taking that away from him. But you have to prepare for a Manny Pacquiao. You know, who the hell Ugas was preparing to fight? It wasn't Manny, and he definitely wasn't on the level of Manny Pacquiao. So it's still that short notice is still kind of tough. The reason, to me, there is validity to it is Ugas, because he's a dog, bro. He's willing to fight. I know that about Ugas, and this is to be a massive paycheck for Ugas, right? Massive. Just being attached to Manny Pacquiao, you were in a fight. This is an ATG, bro. An active ATG is what it is. It's a risk for Manny, as much as Ugas. Yes, because he's a completely different style to the weight bully. Right. He's completely different style to Spence. And Manny has been training for Spence. Correct, Randall Solo. And I just told my guy Chant Ross this last night. Manny is still at the point, guys, where he could turn old on us in any freaking fight. Doesn't matter who it is. He's at that point now. This is it. Oh, yeah, Manny. Manny, you're done. This can happen, right? This is a guy who's battle-torn and worn. Manny Pacquiao has had plenty of fights, right? Tough, tumultuous fights. Bradley series, the Marquez series, right? The Margarito fight. We never know. You know, good point, Mando. Good point. Never know. G-Chain says, I'm disappointed. And I'm a Spence fan. Yeah, I am too, man. I am too, but I think that it's a legitimate injury. I don't think Spence would mess around with this fight. You think PBC pulling the fat? No. I don't. He said, you think PBC pulling the fast one on Manny to get 2 pay-per-views? Canelo asking for $40 million regardless puts a full stop to them trying to. Well, you know, Fish, I said this before. Look, Canelo needs that belt, fam. He can sit here and act like, yeah, I got this, I got that. But, bro, this is the second time you told your fans you were going to clean out a division. So you better make it happen. And demanding $40 million even for a replacement fight, that's not, to me, Canelo making it happen. And I'll flame him for that. I'm not going to sit back and take it because I don't hate the PBC, Fish. I know you do, and a lot of other. I don't hate the PBC. I don't hate any particular sanctioning body or network. I think they're all full of it. Okay, I don't point fingers at one. You guys don't like the PBC, so you want to make it a PBC thing. No, I'm not going to do that. And I'm a Canelo fan. I'm going to make it a Canelo thing. You promised us, you and Oscar, that you were going to clean out 160, and you did not. You came to 168 and you promised us that you were going to clean out 168. Well, demanding 40 million, even for a replacement fight, Canelo, that's not making me feel comfortable that you're trying to make that happen. So, Fish, I'm not going to be like you and Ring IQ and these people who hate the PBC and try to find a way to put it all on the PBC. I'm going to look at it with open eyes as boxing. Okay? No, I don't. No, I don't. I think Canelo needs to come down on that number. I'm not going to put that on the PBC, bro. We ain't going to do that over here. At least Ugas will get widespread coverage, yeah, and he gets the chance to land a few combos. Yeah. And Manny could turn old and he wins. What happens if Ugas wins? See? I don't think anybody's thinking about that. Do I pick Ugas to win? No. But what happened if he does win? Has anybody thought about that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Fox gonna get re-signed. Fox gonna re-sign with the PBC. All these letdowns. Well, not necessarily. I've read some articles that that's a shaky situation with Fox and the PBC. However, they're also execs from the PBC negotiating with CBS Sports. So even if Fox pulls out, it seems like they may have a backup plan. That's how you're business. You got to stay in business. I wonder if Ugas was always on the cards as a stand-in for Pacquiao. Yeah, good question. Samuel Wild Shaw in the building. What's good with you, Samuel Wild? Said, what's up, Remy? He said Spence could have got hurt during the fight. Yeah, that was with no belt. Yeah, and as G-Man said, it could have been recourse from the car crash as well. Because remember, Spence's face was swollen and disfigured, and his eyes was all messed up in that. So it could have been recourse from that that car crash. Chad Ross in the building. What's good? Canelo is the A side. They should give him. No, they shouldn't. That's ridiculous. No, Mando. PBC is garbage truck. Yeah. I know. That's a ridiculous demand from Canelo. I don't care. I'm a Canelo fan, and that's silliness. Mando Solo's Golden Boy is trash. True. Yep, true. See, I'm not gonna deny PBC is garbage. I'm not gonna deny Golden Boy is garbage, but I'm not gonna point finger one way or the other. You guys stop picking networks, promoters, and pick boxing first. All of you, pick boxing first. That will help you decipher the foolishness. Bart Gatsby, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel, Bart. Al Heyman saw Spence leak sparring vid and saw training and decided to pretend. No, foolishness. I'm not entertaining that. No, that's not what happened. Spence got a torn retina during sparring using his headgear and oversized gloves. Checked by 3 doctors in one day during COVID crisis. By the way, Ugas, dude, stop. Stop it, guy, Bart. You guys, man, listen. There's going to be no PBC hate in here, okay? Those ideas, that's not boxing. All of you, Mando Solo, Bart Gatsby, anybody else, I want y'all to understand this right now. There's going to be no PBC hate over here. I don't spread those type of ideas, all right? It's foolishness, okay? Errol Spence would not give up a Manny Pacquiao fight. You guys stop being stupid. It's not Al protecting Spence. He's seen elite sparring footage. That sparring means nothing, Gatsby, okay? Amateurs and sparring, you guys stop trying to correlate that to the pros and a pro fight. It means nothing. It's like Allen Iverson said back in the day, basketball. It's practice, man. Y'all doing all this over practice. It's practice, man, okay? So no, Al's not protecting him. It's a legitimate injury. If it wasn't an injury, you are pure idiots to believe Spence wouldn't take this fight. Again, this would be the passing of the torch fight that Keith Thurman should have capitalized on, right? But he didn't. it would still be that same situation. Do you idiots know what a win over Pacquiao would do for Spence? I was just talking about this before. Bart Gaspy, Mando, and you guys just talking this nonsense. This would have made him the third guy. You would have Canelo and Joshua. The third guy was Manny. These were the only three guys that could fight any opponent and still demand a crowd. There was only three guys in boxing that were under those pretenses. And that was Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, and freaking Anthony Joshua. Canelo proved it selling out Cowboy Stadium against a damn Andy Yildirim, right? Pacquiao. Anybody Pacquiao fights, people going to be there to watch. Joshua, $80 million here, selling out in a day over here. Come on, bro. These are the only three guys that would demand a crowd, no matter who they fight. These are the top guys. Manny Pacquiao, as far as what's coming to boxing, is that third guy. Had Spence beat him, not only would it be the passing of the torch thing, he would have beaten Manny Pacquiao just being an associate. He's not going to give all of that up to pull off some foolishness. Man, you guys get out of here with that. No, going to be no PBC hate over here. Oh, I'm trying to protect. It has to make sense, man. Okay? If it makes sense to me, then yeah, I will be on that. What you guys are saying don't make sense. You guys think about it. And then money is involved. Money, guys. Follow the money. You think Allen don't want to give up that kind of money on a Pacquiao Spence fight? You guys think. Think, man. Think. Seriously. You just said Oscar, but 168 Canelo. I don't know. I might. Yeah, you know what I meant. I peep what they're doing, or at least well, what do you think? What do you think, Rebel Life? What's up with you, Rebel Life? What's up with you, brother? Good to see you. Monty Brown, what's good, brother? Monty, I ain't getting nobody to come up here and join me. I'm gonna drop that link in the chat again, just in case you can run up here, Monty. But yeah, or Rebel Life, either one. First come, first serve. Chant Ross in the building. What's up? Samuel Shaw said, well said, G. Jeffries. These idiots should pick boxing first, especially if you're a true boxing fan. Exactly, bro. Stop with all of this nonsense. Oh, I don't like Bob Arum. Oh, Eddie Hearn's a fraud. Oh, PBC. Come on, bro. Like, think about it from the aspect of boxing, and then you'll come to a more reasonable conclusion. But if you're picking sides and you're with this network or hate against this fighter, your ideas are going to be skewed. Unless the weight bully comes with evidence, well, whatever, bro. I mean, he'll have a surgery, okay? Would that be enough evidence for you? Mando Solo, you idiot. He'll have a damn surgery. And then when he has a surgery, then what? You want to question that too? Stop it, man. Joe, what's up, Monty? Joseph here for War for a Week Radio said he spoke to Spence team and apparently he got it from the sparring. Okay, yeah, no doubt. What's good, Monty Brown? What's good, brother?
My brother, what's going down?
You know, man, just boxing. I just had this idea. We're probably going to go over a little bit here, guys, but I just had this idea that I don't think boxing is falling apart. It is that appearance that boxing is falling apart, but I don't think so. I just think that, we've had some marquee fights that we've had obstacles in, and it's unfortunate, but no, we'll be okay. That was a whole topic. And then, of course, Spence and the Tyson Fury and Wilder situation came in because it ties into, is boxing falling apart, right? Spence out, Ugas in, and it's even some more stuff I'm going to talk about, guys, with Fury and Wilder, which is why I know we're going to go over. But yeah, that's it, Monty. And then responding to these idiots and their ideas about the PBC doing it on purpose. Like, it's so stupid. No way Spence would throw this on purpose or even allow Al to do that. Like, this is not happening, bro. He would fight Manny. If he could fight Manny, he would be in that ring. No way he would play with this fight. No way.
Actually, then Spence never gave us no type of interpretation of never in no fights of getting this far to a fight, making all the sacrifices he made, nutrition, linking back up with Blu-ray, doing hot yoga, lifting weights, you know what I mean, fight camps with PBC. Like, you're not going to put yourself through all that to get to the week of the fight, well, the week of the couple of days away from the fight, to say, oh man, you know what? I don't want to fight right now, coach. I want to just go say I got a torn eye. Who can fake a torn eye, bro? Who can fake
Right,
that? You going
right.
to doctors like this? How you know Errol wanted? He wanted to fight, bro. He went to 3 doctors, 3.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? Just to get the same result. Like, who
Second
goes to 3
opinion,
doctors?
third opinion, you know.
Right, right.
And,
Like,
and
man, I
Monty,
can't
look,
stand it.
I believe this too, Monty. You know, I got Spence. I know you believe this too. I truly believe Spence would have said, F that. Let's fight anyway. but they was like, nah, we did nah, dude. No. I think Spence would have said, F it. Nah, let's fight. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why he went to Vegas, bro. I think he probably like, well, let's go really get another good look. And look, D, he wasn't gonna get cleared no way. He wasn't gonna get cleared. Once they did all the testing and shit, they'd be like, oh no, you got a torn now, you can't fight. They wasn't gonna clear him. But the thing is, I'd rather, because take this for instance, D, I'd rather deal with this, right? The little backlash from them trying to say, oh, he ran from the fight, this, that, than him getting in the fight, and we know I got Spence, and him not looking like Spence, right? Because just think of the narratives then. Oh, we told y'all he wasn't right from the car crash. Oh, you see this? And then Manny hit him in that eye, and Manny being the veteran that he is, seeing that eye swelling up, is going to go to
Take
work
advantage.
on that eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now guess what? Errol Spence done fucked himself up down a stretch for a lifelong injury, or possibly going blind, or anything. You don't know.
Yeah.
It's boxing. And now he got to deal with that for the rest of his career. Then you could have just got the situation handled, and now you A-OK down the stretch. You know what I mean?
Right.
So everybody gonna have their little opinions on the situation, trying to make it like this, that, and third. But man, Spence ain't never gave us no.
He never gave us
nothing.
any indication that he gonna duck out. Man, y'all need to cut that out. Bev, what's up, sis? Bev says Canelo request for the same amount if Plant drops out seems excessive. Perhaps it's insurance to ensure if Plant does, it's a legit reason. Couldn't David Benavidez be his replacement? Now, you said a lot there, Bev, and I will say this: you do need insurance, and I'm a huge Canelo fan, but you ask for 40, you ask for 20 guaranteed. If this, you don't ask for 40 guaranteed. I still can't give. That was outlandish in my opinion. Even though I'm a Canelo fan, I think that was a bit too much, right? You're not gonna get 40 million to fight Joe Blow, right? So yeah, I get it. You do need some insurances, but don't nobody want to give up 20 million for nothing either. So put that as an insurance. And if you fighting some Tom, Dick, and Harry and you're getting 20 million for it, you can't complain about that. But you can't ask for your career high payday even for a replacement. The dude's 35 is his cap. He's never made 40 in one fight. So if Plant twisted an ankle or something, he has to fight Joe Blow. Does he really deserve his highest career payday for fighting Joe Blow? I can't go along with that. But look, guys, I want to talk
and
about.
Not only that, D, I just told him, I'm let you go. Then if you get the 40, y'all know I ride for Canelo to the end. But if you get the 40 for just a Joe Blow, then when Caleb Plant come back, do we gotta give you another 40? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just too much money.
It don't make sense. It was a little bit too much, and you can't demand that type of money from the PBC or any other network for that matter. You know, DAZN might be foolish enough to pay that out, but they're probably the only one. You think Bob would pay that kind of money out? Please. Y'all think Bob Aaron would do that? But y'all expect Al to do it. If y'all don't stop this nonsense, bro, cut it out. So here's something else that I wanted to throw out, guys. And it could be more disappointment coming here on the horizon, and people could be even further feeling like boxing is falling apart because Tyson Fury's baby Athena is in intensive care right now. Okay, now I just did a charity live for this baby for 43 days, and shout out to Mateo, and he's doing well. And I'm gonna tell all of you guys something right now. When a little baby like that is tied up to those machines and they're in intensive care like that, I don't give a damn what any of you fans say. Tyson Fury should be there for his child. Because if it was your damn child, you wouldn't be worried about going to watch no damn boxing match or anything else. You would be worried about your child. And the feelings that I have for my man Gonzalo with his little son being in that hospital strapped to those machines like that. Bro, I don't want to hear it. but it could prevent this fight. So then people be like, oh, here we go again. Now we're not gonna get Fury and Deontay Wilder. But let's pray for that little lady's recovery. And that she gets better, because if she doesn't and she maintains this, and she has to stay in the hospital and that fight gets pushed back or called off, bro, I'm not going to complain, because look, if it was my child, F all of you, I'm going to be there for my child, and I'm gonna be honest about that, bro. But this could happen, guys. Trust and believe. We could have another cancellation or postponement, because this little lady in the hospital, she's in ICU, guys, and she came out of ICU, and then she got worse and went back the next day. So it's a serious situation. And, you fans need to stop this with, oh, that is bull. I don't believe that, bro. Stop that, especially when you're talking about a child's life or a guy's injury that could end his career. No, this is some things are not games being played. Some things are actual life. These are people as well. Okay, like let's keep things in perspective here. But I wanted to bring this up, guys, because the whole thing is boxing falling apart, and I don't really believe that that's the case. But this is going to be something else that could potentially disappoint fans. You know what I mean? What you think, Manny?
Yeah, I send my prayers out to the child, man. That's a legitimate reason for me. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. Like you say, D. Am I cussing too much, D? Or it's cool?
No, you guys are cool. I'm trying to refrain. What you do, bro. You know what I mean? What?
So yeah, man, that's a way. Like, I don't think no man or no woman in their right mind can question that at that stage, at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, that's real life. That's outside of boxing. No money or nothing. Like I say with Errol Spence, no money can give you a vision. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder would be would have been walking around seeing what they wanted to see. So with Tyson Fury and his little baby girl, yeah, if that's the reason, if it comes down to that situation at the time of the fight and things of that nature, and he feel like, look here, man, my mind ain't in the right state of mind. My baby in the ICU, my wife going through this, the kids is that. That's a legitimate reason for me. You feel me? I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, hell yeah, don't know no sport or nothing come before your baby. You know what I'm saying? And what's the worst thing a parent can ever do, D? Is bury a child or sit up there and watch their child go through pain and suffer. So at that point, and like I never even knew that. You just hit me to that. So most definitely, I send prayers to the baby girl and to the family that she get through healthy and come out on a good ends of things. So hell yeah, with that situation, I don't think nobody can question that. Even though we know we're gonna have people saying stupid shit, but from Monty Brown, you'll get no quarrels or no arguments.
Not from D Jeff, not from Speak Your Mind Sports Talk either. We're not gonna do that. Bev says David Benavidez is not a Joe Blow. Oh no, I agree, sis. I agree with you 100%. You're correct there. He's not a Joe Blow, but what are the odds of Benavidez being the replacement? Come on, bro.
And he locked in the fight already.
That's low probability that he would have been the replacement. Now, in this case, Bev, 40 million, okay, Plant goes, and then he has to fight Benavidez. Okay, I get you. But again, Benavidez wouldn't have been the guy. He wouldn't have been the guy. They would have put some foolery in there with Canelo.
You got to think about it too, D. Dave Benavidez fight at the end of August. Canelo would have fought in September the 18th. So if Benavidez would have went ahead and went through with the fight, and let's just say Caleb Plant got injured in September, there's no way Benavidez jumping in that ring. Not even days later. So I'm saying to fight Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, that just don't. It ain't common sense.
All right. Samuel said these mugs need to realize that all real life does exist outside of the YTBC. Right. You fools need to stop the nonsense. Yeah, seriously, bro. Seriously, it's not all about sanctioning bodies trying to play games, and sometimes they're real situations. Spence I is a real situation. Tyson Fury's baby is a real situation. We can't question everything and think that it's all some promoter or network trying to play games. Sometimes guys have real life situations. These are still people, guys. They still have families, mothers, cousins, daughters, uncles. Like, come on, bro. Like, you guys be so enthralled into the sport, and I get it. Everything's not a scam. Sometimes things actually happen in these people's lives, fam. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I just brought that up, guys, because that could potentially be something else, another fight to fall apart or what have you, and then we would be right back in, oh, boxing's falling apart. I think somebody just said in the chat that boxing was imploding. Money man. Nah, I don't think boxing itself is imploding. Again, we spoke on that earlier, so I'm not going to go all back through that, money man, but I just think that that we have marquee fights that a lot of us wanted to see that have fallen apart, and it's just displeasing to the boxing fans. But we cannot forget what we've already gotten. We've gotten Chocolatito and Francisco Estrada. We've gotten 4-belt undisputed match, Ramirez and Taylor. We've gotten a second 4-belt undisputed match in Charlo and Castaño. Although we didn't have a victor in that fight, we got that fight, guys, right? So we can't just dismiss everything that boxing has already put on the table because 3 fights fell apart. That's not going to crumble the sport of boxing. You guys are taking that overboard. This sport has been over 150 years. You think 3 fights is going to crumble the whole sport? You're ludicrous. You're absolutely ludicrous. It's not going to happen.
I agree 120%. I said people act like this shit never happened. That's why I hate when people, when they see situations, bro, they act like these things never happened before. That's the only thing they get to me. Oh my God, boxing is just in an all-time low and this and that. Like, bro, this stuff happens, bro. It's boxing, bro. People get injury. People pull out of fights. People step up the co-main to the main event. People get lucky. Ugas in a good place, right? It happens. It ain't like it's the end of the world. But you know how people do, man. They so dramatic these days, bro. They supposed to be boxing hardcore fans, supposed to be tough. But a lot of these fans and some of these channels, man, be just so dramatic, bro.
Yeah, extra dramatic, overly dramatic. G-Man says, hey, if I was told you have a job on the zone on this day and I had a daughter and she was in the hospital, F the job. I would thank you. I'm dead ass, G-Man. Me too. Of course, I'll tell you guys something. You probably wouldn't believe this. I don't think none of you guys would believe this. If the zone called me today, say, hey, D. Jefferson, we've been looking at your morning show. We want you to come do a show. I would turn them down. Anyway, that's another story. And I know that a lot of you like, yeah, right. Yeah, I would. Because to me, a job, I have an acronym for a job. Just over broke. I'm not going to work for anyone. You guys understand me? Not the zone or anyone. But back to this comment. Yeah, exactly, G-Man. Exactly. Like if my daughter's in the hospital, my newborn child, man, please. Well, look, man, if y'all can't get back with me next week or we can't reschedule this, then okay, I got to turn it down. But if it's my baby, I'm there, bro. I'm there, like, flat out. No doubt, bro. But, yeah, Spence, you know what, Manny, let me ask you this, because I know we were going to go over a bit, but let me ask you this. I'm not fully convinced of Ugas as a replacement in this short of time. I mean, it could happen now, and I'm not saying it's definitely, but that seems kind of shaky to me. Like, that is a huge risk for both guys, for Manny and Ugas.
I look at it like this. Manny was already preparing for a southpaw and Errol Spence, right? But with Ugas, you got to look at the situation and the opportunity. Like, Ugas already got losses, right?
Yeah, I said that too.
Ugas looked at the situation like they would go, like he didn't know if they was going to strip him for the title or not. But you already in fight mode, right? You're in fight shape. You're in fight mode. Of course, you can't get the right sparring partners in for Manny Pacquiao. You can't find sparring partners to mimic Pacquiao no way. So your best bet is to bring in the southpaw, the best southpaw that you can find, and try to get the most rounds in with that southpaw as possible before it's time for you to fly off to Vegas. Yordenis Ugas was never, and he should pass up this opportunity against a Manny Pacquiao. Like, that is a blessing in disguise for him. One man lost, it's the next man treasure. Like, the bag going up, you on the biggest stage. I know people feel like, oh, well, he's going up to face Pacquiao. He got to be crazy, this and that. Look what Andy Ruiz did with Anthony Joshua. You feel me? And look how that turned out. It ain't about, oh, you don't have enough time. It's about the opportunity, bro. And Ugas looking at it like, I'm at this stage, I'm at this age. I can lose to Keith Thurman. I can lose to Errol Spence. A loss is a loss, no matter if I'm prepared or halfway prepared. A loss is a loss. I'm a hell of a fighter. This is Manny Pacquiao, a legend. Ugas never thought in a million years he'd be sharing the ring with Manny Pacquiao, bro.
And that's why I say it kind of does have validity, because would he give up that opportunity? So I feel you, Barney. I feel you. Like, that's why I'm just kind of caught in between. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't think Ugas gonna pass up on it. I don't think he should. I'm seeing people making videos saying they faking and this, that, and the third. Man, look, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. This is the boxing game. Man, look, Ugas not fit to pass up on that bag. For him,
but a lot of fans hate. I was saying this earlier, Manny. I don't know if you was in the chat when I was saying, but a lot of fans just hate the PBC. It ain't gonna be no PBC hate over here, because the PBC is full of foolishness. So they already got it in for them before anything's announced. But it has to make sense, though. It has to make financial sense. It has to make sense on career path, stock in a fighter. If it makes sense to me, then I'll roll along with it. But a lot of them say things that don't make sense. It's because they hate the PBC. He said, "Ooh, you sound like Canelo's boyfriend." That's why I was laughing at G Chain's crazy. Let's be happy. New Machine and Casemiro fight. Yeah. Really, A-Ops. We got a great card this weekend. Boxing ain't falling apart. This weekend is going to be fire, fam.
Ugas saved the show, too, D. He saved the show.
You know what else, too, Money? You know what else, too? Yordenis Ugas and Manny Pacquiao. If he beats Manny Pacquiao, that just explodes Ugas, right? And Ugas, another thing where I say that it could be some validity to it, because Ugas felt comfortable that he would be Spence. He felt that he could be Spence. So, I don't think so, but Ugas sure did think so. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, look, bro. Yeah, it could happen, man. Look, that to me, if Ugas, we sit here and we talk about, on a week notice.
Did you see Ugas post, D?
Huh?
Did you see Ugas post on Instagram?
Yeah, I seen that. But let me make this point real quick. Like, because a lot of modern day fans, they'll sit and say, I don't know, man, a week's notice. Well, you guys think back to probably when you weren't watching the sport, but just go read up. It's guys that used to fight 15, 20 times a year. So how much notice do you believe they had before the next fight?
Thank you.
You feel me? How much notice do you think they had before the next fight? If you fighting 15, 20 times a year, you don't have a lot of notice in between fights. I tell you that right now, dog. You know what I mean? My brother in the building, K Harvey, what's up with you, brother? What's up? What are you talking about? Apex Predator says people always leave out that Al Heyman wanted a multi-fight deal with Canelo. Canelo manager Reynoso came out and said that they're not doing a multi-fight deal with the PBC. It's not only about the 40 million. Well, yeah. I mentioned, I think probably before you came in here, Apex Predator, I did mention that as well too. And the prior to the negotiations, I was all over top of that might cause an obstacle in this negotiation, because listen, I don't even understand why people are so upset about Al Heyman wanting to lock Canelo into a multi-fight deal. And I'll tell you why. DAZN did it. And who haven't any of these networks locked in a marquee fighter that they're not signed with, lock them into a multi-fight deal if they need a belt or something? It always happens. So why are people so bent out of shape that Al wants the same thing? Because it's the PBC and it's PBC hate, right? And I said this way before the negotiations, bro. I've been said all of this, but people don't listen. You guys got to think about things reasonably. Why shouldn't, I want to be honest and take PBC off of the table. Let's not even say PBC. Why shouldn't a network want to lock a marquee fighter like Canelo into a multi-fight deal? Anybody tell me that? Because I don't think anybody has an answer for that, because there is no answer for that. All of them would want to lock the face of boxing into a multi-fight deal. Are you people serious? Especially when you have something called leverage. And the leverage that the PBC has is that last belt. Who wouldn't want to do that? You guys are acting like Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn and Oscar are freaking angels. Didn't DAZN lock Canelo in? Didn't he have to sue DAZN to get from under the foolishness? You guys stop it, bro. Stop with the hate. It's going to be no hate over here.
Ain't here free agent, so why not take a chance?
Seriously, bro. Seriously. Like, again, man, you guys listen. Think about it from the sport of boxing. Take all of the networks, the promoters, the fighter you love. If you take that out of it and you think about it clearly from how it would suit the sport of boxing, what's good, what's considered good from the perspective of boxing, then you can get away from all of these little prejudices and hating mentalities when you're trying to assess any of these situations. You have to come from the sport of boxing. Don't come from the side of Top Rank or the side of PBC. Good morning, babe. Or the side of Eddie Hearn or the side of Spence or the side of Joshua. Come from the side of boxing and what would be good for boxing. Then you'll come to a more reasonable conclusion of what's going on in any situation. That'll help all of you guys. But when you start talking, no, because the PBC would, no, because Al Heyman would do, you're already in the wrong mindset. You need to say what would be good for boxing. Then I'll help you think more clearly on these situations. Promise you. I promise you.
Yep.
Yeah, man, but that's about it, guys. We already over. I keep this down to an hour. Money. Appreciate you jumping on with me, brother. Hey, Money Brown, TV. Why don't you tell these good people where they can find you, brother? Give me some closing thoughts.
Man, shouts out to my bro D Jeff. Keep doing good work. Right here on Money Brown TV, man, on YouTube. We will be going live tonight at 8 p.m. The topic will be, if you want the smoke, come and get it for Errol Spence, because a lot of y'all cats out here going crazy. Y'all acting delusional like y'all never seen somebody, have a situation where they can't, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when they got to pull out the fight, like the man gats to fight. Like, no, man, health is important first, regardless of what anybody say. So y'all can come through, man. If y'all got a problem with saying Errol Spence doing this, I will gladly welcome you to the channel, and I will gladly give you that smoke. You feel me? But shouts out to you, D, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Continue to grind. I'm going to continue to support, bro.
No doubt. Likewise, appreciate you, Monty. Hey, man, and I appreciate all you guys, man, for joining us this morning. And look, man, boxing is not falling apart. I would be very interested in seeing Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. It would be the first actual boxer the dudes fought. And Ugas replacing Spence, hey, man, that's acceptable. Definitely a fight I would like to see. And Spence eye injury is not a lie. It's not trickery. It's not foolery. You people cut it out. And y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.